Episode number 97 of the 3 Count Out podcast. There is a lot to cover this week and only so much time to do it. We are coming to you live and in living color before the NFL games have started for the Eagles. So I am in a great mood because we are going to be having a nice little reset week for the Eagles, running over the Cheeseheads and then running through the Lions. And representing our unfortunate victims this week, as always, Jackal and Mike. Boys, welcome to the Victory Lap episode. We did it. We did it. We made it through the bye week. We're going to kill the Packers. We're going to kill the Lions. It's a premature celebration, baby.
I am currently coming to you live from a library, not in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but Philadelphia, Mississippi. FGK fucked up my travel itinerary yet again. So this computer, I only paid for 30 minutes of internet. Hi, my name's Jackal. And how dare you? How dare you? If you want to do the victory lap, you better help us out by beating those cheeseheads first, though, giving us a better foothold in the division.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, how dare you say you're going to run us over? Because we did you a favor by kicking the Commanders while they were already down. And the Commanders in return punched Amon St. Brown in the face.
Yeah, listen. That's not the only favor that you did for us, because I firmly believe that the Lions will live and die by their vote to keep the tush push in the NFL.
No, the Vikings already figured out how to beat that. Remember, just lay down. Turns out the Eagles are like, we don't know what to do with this.
Well, hey, you guys can lay down and let Saquon run over you into the end zone. Give us a nice.
Hold on. That's if your offensive coordinator lets him fucking run the football.
Well, if he doesn't, we got Calcaterra, we got fucking Goddard, we got everybody we need.
Having Goddard, yay!
Hey, Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert is a pairing that I like seeing. Okay. You know how many times Dallas Goedert has fucking bailed us out? You know how many times my asshole has been tight enough to turn coal into diamonds, and Dallas Goedert is the only thing that pulls me off the edge? But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to this week because the Eagles need a nice little reset here. And we're coming off the bye week. We got Brandon Graham back, right? We get some people coming back, some old vets coming out of retirement to help out the new guys. And you know, Jackal, you were dead in a ditch last week, so I'll fill you in here. But last week I was saying that I'm a real big fan of the Eagles' strategy this year of like taking these draft picks, using them to trade around, get guys while they're good. I firmly believe that this is the. Well, I mean, yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things that are supposed to be happening in the NFL this year that are not. Okay.
No. This year will go down in history as one of the most confusing NFL seasons of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
But you sending out third through seventh round draft picks to get the proven commodities now instead of the unknown for someone that has a chance to be good for you 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the line is a very much a win now strategy. And the Eagles still have a team which is in its win now window. But another team is also in a win now window, and I would say they are more so this week as opposed to last week because your Detroit Lions ended up slaughtering the Washington Commanders 44-22 because finally you can go back to the week 1 episode where I called him Johnny Saddam Hussein Morton is finally no longer calling plays because Dan Campbell took over play calling this week. And yes, did beat up on admittedly a bottom 3 defense in the NFL, but to the resounding score of 44-22, like previously it said, the Lions are rolling, and hopefully we get an amazing game on Sunday Night Football next weekend. But the Eagles have to survive Lambeau tonight, the frozen tundra, fighting Jordan Love and all of his bad balls that come with it.
It'll be fine. What?
So
it's gonna go great. Okay, we
with
can.
The NFL
it's
the way
the
it
fucking
is.
Packers. It's fine.
With the NFL the way it is entirely possible the Eagles somehow bumblefuck this and lose to the team that just lost to the Panthers. but it's also possible they win by 47. But for the Lions, the offense looked great. Meanwhile, the defense definitely looks like if you throw the ball deep on them, they probably will fuck up and let the catch happen. And I don't know what's happening with our special teams, but I think this is the second week in a row where there have been big returns on kickoffs. And Jake Bates, who was a sure thing, is now not.
Not as sure. Not as sure.
And
So
that worries the fuck out of me because he
we
was
got
it was like hey, we can kick a field goal anytime we fucking want. We got Jake Bates now. It's like, well, hopefully the wind's right. Hopefully things are looking good because he might miss now.
we got a long week of practice to get things right leading up to next week's Sunday night football game. But quick, some rapid fire other scores around the league. Like the upset of the week, in my opinion, as the Dolphins. Yes, you heard me right. The Tua Bumba fucking Dolphins pound 30 on Josh Allen and the Bills. Final score 30-13.
Real quick. Is CTE is that contagious? What the fuck was that call? What was that timeout like right before the game even fucking started? What was that?
I have no clue. No.
Mike McDaniels was hitting his bong and instead accidentally hit a timeout.
Yeah, he hit a vape and the ref was like, I think he did a timeout there. All right, timeout.
It's a good one when even commentary's like, timeout? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that was a timeout for some reason.
We're not quite sure what's going on here, but I guess we have a timeout. All right.
Yeah.
The Panthers, who beat the Packers last week, somehow fucked around and lost to the Saints this weekend. That one don't make any sense.
One of the only teams worse than them, and they were like, nah, you know what? Fuck them. Let them win. Who cares?
We had two of the worst primetime football games the entire season in the same calendar week, being the Raiders losing to the Broncos 7-10, and whatever the fuck Sunday Night Football was, Chargers versus Steelers, Chargers winning 25-10.
Jesus.
Awful.
I mean, it was better than Raiders Broncos that game. I was just like punt, interception, punt, interception, punt. Oh, touchdown, field goal, punt.
And I was game over.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were playing soccer.
The unanimous sort of consensus idea of Sunday Night Football around the league is that we all have seen Aaron Rodgers play his worst game of football, and that was probably Sunday Night Football last night. That was a terrible time to watch.
So speaking of bad games, and I mean, I guess yardage-wise, still not bad, but the Colts squeak out a win on the absolute big back of Jonathan Taylor, right? Jonathan Taylor, 3 touchdowns, 244 yards. Daniel Jones, 255 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Jonathan Taylor almost ran for as many yards as Daniel Jones threw. And I think people are starting to find out, like, hey, Daniel Jones is mid. He's a pretty mid quarterback.
I got two takes on the Colts, and I don't know how many people are kind of agreeing with him yet in the world of the NFL. Number one, I feel like the Colts this year are the Lions of last year, where they sort of seem to just be magically winning these games no matter what. Because realistically, I feel like the Colts should have lost this game, but they didn't. So I feel like once they're going to get a really good seed, if they get the 1 seed, sure. But by the time they get to the playoffs and rubber meets the road, I feel like they get punched in the mouth, and it looks like they're wearing lipstick yet again. And I feel like they get first rounded in whatever playoff matchup they have.
Again, it's Jonathan Taylor. If a team figures out how to hold him under 100 yards, I don't think they win. Yeah.
Number two, Jonathan Taylor should be the front runner for MVP right now, but since Saquon didn't win it last year, Jonathan Taylor is not going to win MVP this year. I feel like the front runner for MVP at the moment is Matt Stafford and the Rams. However, it should be Jonathan Taylor, but we all know that the MVP of the NFL season is a quarterback award and a quarterback award alone.
Yeah, which means Jonathan Taylor will win Offensive Player of the Year.
Bingo.
Exactly. The hand job of trophies.
Yep, the seat that Saquon's keeping warm for him, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Regardless, Monday Night Football, Eagles, Packers, setting us up for a wild and crazy week of the NFL coming on down the pipeline. But there were some other games that were played, and one that I had a chance to listen to in the world of college in heartbreaking fashion, might I say. The interim head coach almost did something that James Franklin was only able to do once in like 10 years and beat a top 5 team. If it weren't for the greatest, maybe possibly a catch I've ever seen in my entire life, and also
that catch was not in. That catch was not. Don't get me fucking started on that. The catch was not fucking in. The fucking left foot was over the goddamn line. It was over. They got the fucking replay. They showed it on the angle. That was not in. We should have fucking gotten that.
Combined with the worst announcer call of all time of Gus Johnson pretending to lose his fucking
Dude, I watched that game with my future parents-in-law in the room. Okay? So I had to check myself as I was watching this game. If I was at home, there'd probably be a hole in the wall. Because Gus Johnson just, oh my God! Catch of the year! Oh, give him the Heisman! Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. It's so fucking annoying. And they're showing this replay, and it's like over and over and over again. Even on commentary, they're like, well, did they get the fucking catch? And they're showing the replay, and the left foot's over the fucking line, and they give it to him anyway. It's like fucking James Franklin never left. It's like James Franklin never fucking left. And I don't know if the fucking problem was Penn State. I don't know if it's the fucking, is it the fucking stadium that we're playing in? Is it something in the fucking water in Happy Valley? What the fuck is going on? Because if we can't beat Ohio and we can't beat a top 10 team, and then we get rid of the man who's supposed to be the problem, and then we can't beat Ohio and we can't beat a top 10 team, I don't think James Franklin was definitely a problem, but I don't think he was the problem.
It realistically may come back to bite Penn State. We'll see what happens when the coaching carousel kind of figures itself out. Because realistically, like, yes, you guys were close. However, I don't think that the head coach, Arthur Smith, whatever his name is right now.
Terry Smith.
That too.
Bitch.
I feel like the defensive game plan for the entire last drive just sort of probably won't score. We just take it easy on them, and then allowed them to march their way down the field in a minute and 2 seconds or whatever the hell it was. But thankfully, you got an amazing bounce back game next week to finally. It is so weird that I'm even saying this because no one would have guessed that this would have been the case. To finally give you your first Big Ten conference, first Big Ten
God, I wish.
Win next week, Michigan State, which anybody beating Michigan State is going to make me very, very happy. So Penn State will hopefully get that one done and move
they should
on.
win that one by about 57.
Yes, very much so.
If we lose to Michigan State, I might not be on camera next week. I might not be recording. No, I might not be streaming.
We were talking about it during the game. I think actually Grunkemeier's turning out. He was learning mid-game during Indiana, and he was actually performing pretty well. So I think, if they get him some wide receivers for Christmas, I think he'll actually be something at Penn State and not just, a useless body.
Legitimately, I think if Drew Aller was still around, if he was still playing, I think we would have had a much better showing in that game because Grunkemeyer was learning on the fly, which is impressive in itself, but you need to have that game sense, and that was not there. I mean, yeah, there was some dumb shit on defense happening, but man, I have to remind myself that it's a backup head coach and a backup quarterback. I have to just remind myself that because otherwise my doctor says that my blood pressure gets too high.
I will give a compliment where a compliment is due. Grunkemeyer has gotten better week to week to week. He has gotten better the longer that he's been in the game.
To be fair, though, I think this is the most football he's played since fucking high school. I think.
Which was
Yeah.
this time last year. I think he's a true freshman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think he's been sitting on the I think he's just remembering how to play. Like,
So I think this will sort of lead to good things next season, because I do think at the moment, let me check the numbers here. Well, you would have to win out to be bowl eligible, and I think looking at your schedule the rest of the way, there's a good chance to do so, because it's Michigan State, Nebraska, and Rutgers. So those are three kind of winnable games when you look at it.
Yeah,
I
Rutgers should be a
think you win
gimme.
out.
Michigan State should be a gimme.
You'll be bowl eligible, but you'll be playing in not even in the Pop-Tart Bowl. You'll be in like the Uncle Grandpa fucking Mayo Bowl, but still a bowl game's a bowl game.
Bro, I at least want
the Man-Witch Bowl.
I at least want the
Man.
Pop-Tart Bowl. I at least want the Pop-Tart Bowl. That's all I need. Please. Please. That'll be the perfect way to sum up this season. Is Penn State probably fucking losing in the Pop-Tart Bowl and then having the goddamn strawberry Pop-Tart dance on our fucking grave.
Crucified and get fucking
No, I'd
roasted
love it
alive
because it would
again.
magically be them versus like the Navy, and Penn State would beat Navy by 87 points.
A team, on the other hand, with some college football playoff aspirations, still not closely within reach, but still kind of within reach, is your Michigan Wolverines, who had their final bye week this week, staring down the final 3 games of their season coming up, which would start with Northwestern. This one's going to be a cool one. The Michigan Northwestern game is going to be played at Wrigley Field.
What?
And for those
How
of
does
you
that
unknown,
work?
that is the Chicago Cubs baseball stadium.
Yeah. How do you?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Who's
all in the
pitching?
outfield, like the old school way that the Raiders used to do it, or something. I don't know.
Oh fuck. Yeah, probably. Why though? Why? You guys have a stadium.
Northwestern does not, because we are going to be at Northwestern. So that's the thing.
You can't. Why do you have a home game if you don't have a fucking stadium?
No clue. No clue.
You can't have a home game if you don't have a home. What the fuck?
That one should be fairly winnable. I think Michigan right now has about an 84%.
If you can't beat up on the homeless, you don't deserve it.
Then we have Maryland, and then rounding things out, the final week of November, Thanksgiving week, is the game. All signs pointing to that one being the finale to decide a lot of things. Michigan, Ohio State. We'll get to that one. We'll get there when we get there for that one. So that is a quick rapid-fire blast through the world of football, and you guys can go back and touch on some stuff that we missed. But real quick, Jackal's thoughts into the world of wrestling before my internet here runs out at the public library. The fuck down, Susan. I'm almost done. Once I'm done with the internet, I have to go start hiking to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because Mississippi sucks, you woman. Get out of here.
It sure does.
Anyways,
nothing there.
God, the
Don't
people
talk
here
to
are
the
getting
librarian that way, dude.
boisterous. Listen, it's her fault that her shirt right now says Nick Sirianni pees while sitting down. I'm just listen.
And she's
I'm
not
just
wrong
trying to
though.
be-
She's not wrong though. Until we win this week, she's not wrong.
What can we see this tournament bracket like?
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
this thing,
Christina? Yeah.
is that fully made?
There are 6 people announced so far for the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. So far, the people that are announced, we have Damian Priest, Rusev, Sheamus, Nakamura, Miz, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Tonight on Raw, we get Damian Priest versus Rusev, and Sheamus versus Nakamura. Miz versus Jey Uso, and LA Knight versus TBD are both
Can
TBD.
I tell you? If
None of that gets me excited.
if Jey Uso wins, I
Now,
shit my pants and kill myself at the same time.
real quick, another wrinkle to probably throw into this whole tournament talk is that tonight on Raw, again, we are recording this before Raw happens, but allegedly tonight on Raw, Dominic Mysterio is allegedly booked to lose his Intercontinental Championship to John Cena when Liv Morgan makes her return and costs Dominic Mysterio the Intercontinental Championship. And then the Intercontinental Championship will be the prize of the
Did
Never
you get
Seen
the
17
script or
tournament.
something?
No, that's from Twitter.
Oh,
That's from Fightful.
This is from at WWE Road Dogg. Me and Arav1 are boys. I sent him what's going to happen tonight.
No, it's on Twitter. It's yeah. So I mean, it's very possible that whoever gets this tournament could also, they get the spot to not only retire John Cena.
Jesus.
But,
so Cena's all right. If that's all true, Cena wins tonight, and then because Sheamus has been putting in good work, he wins this whole thing. He takes the belt from Cena. That way, he's also a Grand Slam champion. So both
that's
of
fine.
them and Grand Slam champions.
As long as it's not fucking Gunther, that's fine. Right now, my mindset is shifted from to Edge to anybody but Gunther.
Yeah, I think
not anybody. I don't want it to ever be Jey Uso ever.
True. Yeah,
anybody but
Jey
Gunther,
Uso. Jey Uso is definitely here to fill a spot. I think over the past week, I've definitely come to terms with the fact that it's not going to be Edge. He might do like one of those little video package things that like Bryan Danielson did in the past, but it's not going to be Edge. I do think though.
Since we're talking about wrestling, I just want to. This is a quick sidebar before Jackal's internet cuts out and he has to, start fighting people for spare change or whatever. Did you see the Chargers little victory thing on Twitter? It's all the Samoa Joe walking away memes and people missing. So the people missing are the Steelers. It is fucking gold. I love it.
God.
Nice.
I love when wrestling bleeds over to that. Dandy and I this past weekend we went to a local AHL game, the American Hockey League, so like the minors, and the dude running the soundboard fucking loved WWE. There was Kevin Owens music, there was Seth Rollins music, there was the Undertaker gong. He was doing the fucking woo. You love WWE.
Hell yeah.
I got one more on the way out. I know the internet's almost out. Leave me alone. I swear to God, if the mystery person winds up being Joe Hendry and the way to shoehorn Gunther into the fucking tournament is that Joe Hendry comes out, say his name, and he starts making his way down to there and Gunther attacks him and then takes his place into the tournament. Mike, I'll join you. I know. I'm not.
Well.
Oh, no.
I'm glad Jackal may have to go fight off the homeless and whatever library he's in. However, I think that Joe Hendry is going to be in this tournament. I think Joe Hendry is my favorite. I think this is where Joe Hendry comes into the WWE. He has been noticeably absent from TNA. I mean, yeah, he was in the TNA stuff. He was in the TNA stuff when they were doing like the whole invasion angle. But now all of that's over, and he's still there. He was just on NXT with Thea Hale. And I think if you're trying to get him onto the main roster, this is a perfect spot to do it. And who better? John Cena is, yes, he's the company guy, and he's he has the action figure look and all of that. But like Joe Hendry has that personality of somebody that should be getting the John Cena torch. Because whoever gets this torch, they're going to be the person representing WWE on TV for it, probably at least the next fucking decade. Like, this is going to be a very important, whoever gets to retire John Cena, whether there's an Intercontinental Championship or not, it's going to be an extremely important match. And if you want people to have fun with Joe Hendry, but also understand that Joe Hendry is legit and that Joe Hendry is an amateur wrestler, right? He has this kind of like shoot wrestling background. He's legit.
Yeah.
You want him to be taken seriously. Yeah, he has fun music and he does the funny smile and say his name and he appears. He's funny and he's entertaining. But when the bell rings, he can fucking go. And if WWE wants people to understand that, there is no better way to do that than to give him a fucking tournament where he now has 2, 3, 4 opportunities to just pop out of fucking nowhere in the beginning of the turn. He gets to do his Joe Hendry shit. He gets to immediately interact with a bunch of the roster. And then John Cena is actually giving it to somebody who needs it. This is not going to a Rusev. This is not going to a Sheamus. This is not going to a Gunther. These are people that have been around and have established themselves in WWE TV. Whatever you want to say about Rusev's career, whatever you want to say about Gunther's career, those dudes, you look at them and you know that they can kick your ass because they can kick your ass. Joe Hendry needs a way to come into the WWE that makes him legit. And to top it all off, you have clips of Joe Hendry going back years of him talking about matches with John Cena. Joe Hendry is a John Cena guy. So if you want to talk about just getting him in, that's the way to do it. I think the other person that it could also be, if it's not Joe Hendry as somebody from another company, I think this is an amazing opportunity to bring Matt Cardona in as well.
And he's been dick riding WWE so long, I could see them doing that. Because he keeps on going like, oh, yeah, I'm an indie guy, but, you know, if I could go back to WWE, I totally would in a heartbeat, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, and I think Cardona even just lost one of his indie titles, too. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. I would really like to see Joe Hendry in there and them use him in that way to kind of, you know, like, they're like, hey, you should have known about him. Now you do. Here's Joe Hendry. And they give him a different finishing move because when all the guys are your size, that chokeslam doesn't look that impactful, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think if Joe Hendry gets the John Cena torch, Joe Hendry is, yes, he is like an older guy, but he's not old. He still has plenty of time left in whatever run he gets. If he goes to WWE, he has plenty of time left. And he is almost, I'd argue, in a very similar position to John Cena in the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era, where no one was really taking him seriously, and he was just kind of this amateur wrestler that people knew was entertaining. You know, John Cena originally almost got fired from the WWE. He was given a lot of opportunities by a lot of veterans, and nobody really knew who he was, but he was always that guy. He always had, John Cena was always John Cena. He was always doing John Cena shit. So I think they have a very interesting spot here, and I like that they've already said one of these spots is going to be determined. What I don't like is that to be determined spot is against LA Knight, because that means that if Joe Hendry is filling that spot, that you are having me choose between Joe Hendry and LA Knight. And LA Knight is somebody who apparently already had the torch passed to him by John Cena.
Yeah. And then they just were like, oh, wow, everybody really loves that. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are talking about versus yeet. Look at who's a little bit, who hasn't been fucking up a spear for the past year and a half. You know what I mean?
Hey, that spear is really hard to do if you don't have talent.
Yeah. Listen, I understand that, LA Knight is not probably ever going to get a WWE championship, or if he does, it'll be for like 6 months.
Yeah.
It is frustrating to see how WWE just fucked some people over. Like, they fucked over Drew McIntyre, although apparently he went to go shoot a movie, so I guess that's why he's been they fucked over LA Knight.
How dare you leave? Time to punish you.
Well, I mean, he's got to have a whole losing streak, and then he goes away for a little while, and then I assume he'll come back and win, probably around the Rumble. So, and there's just some people that have never, or Chad Gable didn't get his push until he became El Grande Americano. Speaking of, isn't Chad Gable due back soon? Wasn't he supposed to be back by the end of the year?
I don't know. I hope he's back soon. We could use some Chad Gable.
I really want a Rumble spot between both El Grande Americano. That'd be fucking hilarious. Could you imagine if they start 1 and 2?
Well, and then what you do, right? You just many faces affiliate, so you have both El Grande Americanos. They both get eliminated, and then you have Chad and Ludwig also come out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Omos, because it could still also totally be him.
I also saw somebody. I guess there was it was a couple of weeks ago. Ludwig was in Mexico on Sunday, and then he was on Raw on Monday, and it was Ludwig, but people were I don't know, kind of looks like it might be Logan Paul under.
Man, am I fucking bummed that as soon, God, why did they bring him back? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, they put Logan Paul. Is he in the Vision, or do you think it's just a War Games thing? I think it's just a War Games thing.
I think it's just War Games, because if they decided to waste putting him in the Vision, oh fucking boy.
Yeah, and I think right now, like, WrestleMania is like 5 months away, right? So in my opinion, it's, you got to get through War Games, and then we start looking at, WrestleMania season leading into the Rumble, things like that. So I don't think this is one of their big stories. I mean, I don't want to speak this into existence, but I think Logan Paul is about to get a lot more TV time on Raw than we'd like. But I don't think he's in the Vision. I think he's just working with Paul Heyman until they get through whatever Bloodbath is about. Well, like WWE, it's not Bloodbath. The Bloodbath is Blood and Guts.
Boy, oh boy, do I fucking hope so. I mean, again, I know we talked about it, but the fact that, like, SmackDown had a good match, unless again, of course, you talk about Charlotte even put out that she's going to start wrestling in her robes now because mid-match she accidentally popped not just one titty but both. So I mean, unless you count that, even the tag match Twitter, wasn't. Dude. Horn. Yeah, it was just a weak ass SmackDown. Besides for Ilya versus Gargano, and Candice LeRae got involved, and somebody said if you don't book Candice versus Ilya next, you're a bunch of fucking cowards. Which
Candice versus Ilya,
I think it would be gold. They're kind of revving it up towards either Tommaso or Tama Tonga being like one of his big opponents, which Tama Tonga being one of them is kind of wild, but hey.
I mean, he's got the face paint now, though. He's cool again.
That is true. And they've been making it so that, like, all right, Tommaso, now's your chance. Well, except for the other people. And then it's like, well, all right, maybe now. Nope, never mind, somebody else. And so I think if they just swerved him and made it Candice LeRae, oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. Plus, she's a badass, and she's one of the main women that could do that, and you'd be like, she has a shot.
Yep. God, I always think about the I always think about the Penta Chelsea Green match. Your new United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green. Stand up and salute for that one. I can't believe they fucking jobbed Julia out like that. What the hell? What was the plan?
I don't know. And like they even admitted that, I guess, like they were like, oh, we weren't ever really going to take it seriously. We just kind of did that for just to give it to Chelsea Green because we knew she wanted it. And the stuff between her and Michin were awesome. It's like, well, that doesn't really help you any, guys.
Yeah.
You just made everything else sound super irrelevant.
And there was so much happening with Julia there because Kiana James was like doing the whole managerial stuff and like trying, like, and it was interesting, right? Because like you knew eventually that was going to collapse, but you're not really sure how. And like everybody knows what Julia was capable of. So like having her go out and just get fucking squashed by Chelsea Green. I mean, listen, Chelsea Green is good, and I get that she's getting the push down in AAA. I get that her and Ethan Page, they're the mixed tag team champs or whatever down there. Yeah, great for them. But I don't. You can have a good championship match, and you can have your champion lose that match, and have your champion still look strong. Like, I don't know if they fucking cut it for time or if there was something else going on there, but that match being that short is fucking criminal. And it almost kind of, we've been joking about it for weeks of the Chat GPT booking, but it really, really felt like that was some Chat GPT ass booking because it was go out, do the spots, roll up 1, 2, 3. We've given more time talking about this match than it actually took on WWE TV.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And, luckily, because she's a professional, Julia went out and did the damn thing, unlike some people that had the chance to do that in other companies. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But, yeah, I mean, I guess... don't know what their plan is with Julia going forward. Hopefully, it's to challenge for the belt, and maybe there's going to be something between her and Jade. Hopefully, but you got to make her stronger.
Yeah. No, you got it. And I don't think you can have Julia get squashed by Chelsea Green and then have Julia go right to Jade. I just don't.
No, I think she has to kind of run through the division.
Yeah, she needs to get some she needs to get something good underneath her belt here, because they just have not been booking her anywhere near where she should be. And it's funny, you know, you're talking about going out and doing the damn thing, but it's like Julia is going out and jobbing in WWE. And then it was Tegan Knox and her girlfriend that wouldn't go job out in AEW?
Yeah, which apparently, according to Tegan, they only have about a year left of wrestling anyways, probably because nobody wants to fucking book them. But like, I get not wanting to job. I completely understand that. However, if you're trying to have a career, if you're trying to be a part of something big, especially the rival company, like, yeah, guess what? You want to be on TV? Do something with your 3 minutes. Make it fucking impressive, you know? Or just get yourself more TV time. Apparently, the way it went was they showed up to Dynamite. They said, hey, we don't have anything for you. Okay, no big deal. Whatever. They're not under contract. Why would they have something for them to do? They came back on. They were like, we will during Collision, though. Came back, said, hey, this is what we have. They went, well, this doesn't benefit anybody. And they left. And then the other team stepped up. And
yeah, they wanted to. They wanted to have him go put over Ty Mello and Anna Jay, because again, that's the team that's going through the tag team tournament right now. Like, why would Tegan Knox and her girlfriend get a win?
Right.
Very odd.
Yeah. So I don't know how much they're going to get booked going forward.
Yeah.
You know.
And then of course they do the stereotypical immediately run to Twitter and be like, we have so much to say about this. And it's like, okay, so now you're not being professional about it either. Like, if you wanted to just be like, yeah, nope, we're not doing your job, we're going, like, I don't know. It seems like they're trying to make it very public for no reason. And I wonder, I know like WWE did a whole bunch of like Evolve releases and stuff like that. And I've been seeing people saying like that there were apparently maybe some former WWE ID talent backstage at AEW, and it's like,
ooh.
It's like, I wonder. There's a small part of me that wonders if you know, Tegan wants to stay in the good graces of WWE and is trying to, you know, and so I don't know. It's just a very weird situation. It's very. I always find it interesting when, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I always find this interesting when somebody who has had so many chances, like Tegan Knox, refuses to take
that's built of, you know, busted ass stuff.
Right. It's like, dog, take the work while you can work. But
yeah, I don't ever understand going, oh yeah, no, fuck that. Like, if your plan is really just like, oh, we're just gonna have, you know, a little fun over the next, you know, year, and then we're both gonna be done. Like, dog, then wrestle for the company. Like, don't you want to be on TV? If you don't, then just go to some random fucking indie show in a gym. Any of them will let you just be a bumblefuck for, you know, $12. But if you want to be on TV, you got to play by fucking TV rules.
Yeah, no, and it's like, you gotta play the game to an extent, especially like being.
Yeah, Triple H tells you that.
Okay, well, I didn't mean it like that. But no, I just mean like, you know, like, you're going for it. Again, it's somebody like Tegan Knox who has had so many chances, and it's like, you're gonna get rid of this one because you don't want to get pinned. What if Tony Khan was like, you'll get pinned for a couple of weeks, and then we'll get you a
job you're being paid for?
Yeah. What if Ty Mello and Anna Jay win this tournament, and then, hey, you pinned us, now you're the champs, we want a shot? Maybe that's where this was going. We'll never know. Because Tegan Hogan decided not to job out.
Right. Yeah, it was a dumb decision. And I don't know, man. Just everything's been weird the last couple months because between all the Ridge Holland stuff and her shit, it's just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's just
Ridge
so
Holland.
much wonky shit going on.
I honestly, I kind of feel a little bit bad for Ridge Holland because, like, he wasn't trying to break Big E's neck, right?
No, absolutely not.
But that's all people are. That's all we're talking about. Like it really started a fucking downward spiral for him. And listen, there are some people that are in the WWE. They come in as somebody's fucking sidekick, and they are perpetually a sidekick for the rest of their career. Maybe that was Ridge Holland, right? Maybe no matter what he did, even if he never injured Big E, maybe he never would have been on the main event. But I truly believe that Ridge Holland breaking Big E's neck and then going and trying to do whatever that run was in NXT, WWE did not want him there after he broke Big E.
Right. No, I think I think when they dropped him down to NXT, I think that was kind of their like, well, this is your shot to fix yourself. This is your shot to get back in good graces. This is your shot to not fuck up. Good luck. And when it didn't work, then they were just kind of like, hey, you know what? Fuck him. And apparently they had him working like house shows and shit. I obviously wouldn't know because you don't see him on TV. But they had him doing stuff. And I guess like he didn't get paid for his last match when he got injured. And then they were gonna, I guess, like his initial medical bills. This was all clearly stuff I read online. I don't know. I'm not a part of WWE. This is all just shit you read online. And from what he posted originally, was that they were picking up his first medical bill, but that was it. And then when he said that, and he was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pay for anything because, like even Jinder Mahal went online and kind of broke down like, you guys think they're making a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah.
And they're not. Like,
well, they're
even if
making a bunch of money and then immediately spending it to make more. Like,
well, yeah, it's like, okay, well, you have to buy your ring gear or, create your ring gear. You have to travel. You have to get your own health insurance because we're contracted. And they broke it down. He's like, so at the end of it, there's not a lot of money there. I don't know what everybody expects. And it's like, oh, okay, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, and I think everybody thinks about these contracts that, like, you hear Roman Reigns getting, where it's 5 years, fucking 4 days a year, and $1 billion a year. And it's like, you think everyone's swimming in money, but then the reality of it is that your guys, the guys that aren't huge names, that aren't really doing much, like they're not on these huge contracts. They're not on these contracts that are, yes, sometimes WWE will pay for travel somewhere, but 99% of the time, these people are flying across the country to just sit in catering. Like,
yeah,
it's not a lot of money there. It's the WWE is gonna pay them enough to keep them around, but they're not gonna be fucking paying everyone millions of dollars. That's not everybody gets the Cody Rhodes tour bus. Like that's just how it is.
Right.
And I think, I think it's interesting kind of hearing like Jinder Mahal break that down because you're like, oh shit, yeah. And like,
they are poor. Oh.
Well, I mean, I think, I think some wrestlers are, I think most wrestlers are better off than most people, but
yeah.
As Dusty said, sometimes you come across some hard times. The horrible Dusty.
But yeah, and then like I don't know, and then you get into his like the what the fuck, the wow, I'm brain farting. The GoFundMe, there we go.
Oh,
the GoFundMe that was set up, and then it's like, okay, well, he didn't actually set it up, somebody else did. And then it's like, okay, well, he's giving the money back, and then something else was like, no, he's not. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if he is giving the money back, if he's, what's happening. A bunch of different things are saying a bunch of different things, but it's one of those, it just all doesn't look good. So hopefully, he's a normal guy. He fell on some shitty times, all that bad stuff. And it all gets fixed, squared away. That way he doesn't really have to worry. He's just kind of had a run of bad luck, but yeah, it's just, it got real messy real quick, and it's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that he can kind of shed this whole, the guy that broke Big E's neck, and maybe hopefully get some indie success, or maybe even some AEW. You know, there's a spot there for him.
I don't think they'll ever take him on AEW. I think
no.
Well, and it's not even the Big E thing. I think it's just, you know, you watch somebody work for a certain amount of time and you're like, just okay. And because I mean, he's good ish. He can't talk on a microphone. He can't really. He has kind of the same moves as a lot of other people. So it's like, well, what would you do with him?
Have him job out for other people, but he gets a paycheck every week.
Yeah, and I mean, if that was their offer, then maybe he's like, hey, I'll take it. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think like I said, I think there are people that are just perpetually sidekicks, and I feel like that's just where his spot is. And listen, there are plenty of people that have made amazing careers off of making other people look great.
Very true.
I think, you know, I think if he's gonna go anywhere, it might be in AEW. And all the attention that he's getting right now might help, because, you know, and that's one thing that I also wanted to kind of talk about real quick, kind of going back to obviously going back earlier in the episode here, we were talking about Edge and John Cena's final match and stuff like that. I feel like it's smart on AEW's part to have Edge off of TV right now, because when we're talking about John Cena's final match and he says it could be anybody from any company, why couldn't it be Edge? Yes, there's a business case there that it can't be Edge because WWE and AEW are rivals, whether or not WWE wants to admit it. They're competition. So would you do that? I don't think so. But he's not on AEW TV right now, you know? So, and it's like, it's one of those things where when you talk about Edge, you have to talk about AEW. Or another thing is like Chris Jericho. His name is being rumored. I mean, his contract with AEW is apparently set to expire December 31st, 2025.
Well, and he's getting back in wrestling shape, unfortunately.
But he's not on AEW TV right now. And so even if they're talking about him going back to WWE, you still have to talk about the fact that he has been off of AEW TV. And you have to say AEW's name when you're talking about WWE right now. And I think that is extremely smart on AEW's part. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it has. I was just thinking about that during my lunch break, that it's like, because I was trying to think about, like, I normally try to think of, like, what are the WWE headlines, what are the AEW headlines, and I was like, man, they're all kind of the same right now. And I mean, yes, they have their own events of Blood and Guts and War Games, but I mean, even that kind of feels a little bit similar, because these, you know, how they're the same match, right? They're the same type of match. They have very different builds and very different people in them. And by the time this episode has come out, I assume Darby Allin is dead. But
or at least looks like he should be.
Listen, again, we are recording this. It is currently 4 minutes before Monday Night Raw starts. Let's throw the timer on that one. Date that one. I assume that the War Games match is going to be Jon Moxley or Darby Allin coming down from the ceiling like Sting, then immediately getting jumped by the Death Riders, getting lit on fire. Jack Perry's going to come in and hit him with another bus. Claudio Castagnoli is going to find a really high balcony and chuck him off. And then Jon Moxley is going to choke him out. That's how I think War Games is going to go for Darby Allin. I don't think it's... But my point still stands, where I think, like, you know, the companies right now are in a way kind of almost all building to the same thing of, like, what's happening with Edge? What's happening with Chris Jericho? Oh, we got our War Games matches coming up. Oh, and it's a very interesting thing to see, because you see almost like two companies in a very similar spot, but going about it in entirely different ways.
Yeah, this is well, and also for AEW, like there's a lot going on, and yeah, when you have those type of names, but you're like, no, look, we just have our own guys, can't you tell? We have our own guys doing our own guy stuff. We don't have to worry about WWE at all. But yeah, like you said, they're like, but we don't know what's going on with these couple guys. So whenever you talk, you just have to also keep on talking about us. And it keeps everybody talking and everybody's currently in the conversation. Well, besides for TNA, unfortunately. It seems like that partnership is slowly petering out.
yeah. TNA had their literal 15 seconds of fame. And they had a, quite honestly, mid-invasion pay-per-view. And now they're going to lose Joe Hendry to NXT. So it's a very interesting spot for NXT or for TNA, because you
guys get Jordan Grace, and you also get Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we get?
Trick Williams and JC Jane. And like, okay, like those are not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not an equal trade. And we talked about it in the beginning of all of this with the TNA NXT shit, and it was like, we've seen a lot of TNA people on NXT TV, but we haven't seen anybody from WWE go to TNA.
Well, and yeah, it's like right now, I think Kalani Jordan is one of their champions.
I think Kalani's over there.
And it's like, oh, okay.
You know what? I'm surprised that we come out of this NXT TNA thing not knowing. I'm surprised that we come out of this NXT TNA thing not knowing if there is currently an NXT person that is still a TNA champion. How in the fuck have they booked an entire invasion angle, and we're sitting here questioning how the hell it even happened and what the fuck happened because of it? It felt so inconsequential.
They didn't really book an invasion angle. They were just like, well...
They booked a bunch of TNA wrestlers getting pissed off on Twitter and then coming and having a match.
But that was just it, though. Like, they booked them being pissed off, and that was the end of it, really. Like,
this felt like a fucking My Rise story.
Yeah, it kind of was. And it was like you went to pick the My Rise story, and then at the last second you picked a different option. And it was like, oh, well, okay, now you wear a suit or something like that. And it was so fucking wonky. They must have had a falling out that they just are sweeping under the rug or something, because otherwise any of that makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, I think also probably a good part of it was that when you have TNA in 2025, you have to have Matt Cardona with it. You have to have Nick Nemeth with it. When you're bringing in an authoritarian figure, you have to have Santino Marella with it. And it's like, these are people that we want them back on WWE TV. You know, you're clicking and clacking. Holy shit. What are you clacking?
Am I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can hear that.
Weird. No, I wasn't even click-clacking anything, so I don't know what that was.
I don't know. I heard something. Hey, there's something in your walls, bro. But no, it was. It's just one of those things where it's like that like people want they want Zack Ryder back. They want Dolph Ziggler back. Like it's just very odd, and I don't think anybody actually went to TNA TV because of this. I think people definitely tuned into NXT to watch. I did. I don't think anybody watched TNA because of it.
I think they might have, like, when it first started, but now that when they realized that it was like, oh, okay, well, like, fucking Moose went over to NXT, you know? We had Moose put on a goddamn banger with Obafemi on NXT. On fucking NXT. And it was great. It was so good. And we didn't return the favor. And so you kind of realize, like, oh, if I just watch NXT, I'll get everything I was supposed to see anyways. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and anything anything that's important enough, WWE will make sure that you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very weird business deal there, because it doesn't really feel like TNA got anything out of that. Also, real quick, there's speaking of companies kind of booking the same thing and all of that. This Wednesday, it's already happened by the time that this episode comes out. AEW has had their Blood and Guts TV, special TV, free TV. I don't know how the hell they get away with putting this on free TV, but somehow they do. We talked about Pick'ems last week, so we're not going to go over that again, but they did add a match that I want to get your opinion on. Falls Count Anywhere match. Hangman Adam Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I did see this, and my first thought was, okay, why? And I know it's just, to beat Hangman up before his match, his inevitable rematch with Samoa Joe, but I was just like, I must have missed the part where, like, this fully made sense,
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be Powerhouse Hobbs throwing him around for a bit, and then Hangman will come back with like a trash can or some shit like that and win the match with a buckshot. Well, probably not a buckshot, because I don't know if you can do that to Powerhouse Hobbs and make it look impactful enough to win a match. But yeah, when it got announced, I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I saw this come across my Twitter, and I was like, this is the most fucking AEW bullshit I have ever seen. Of them just, because again, I don't even know how this makes sense either. I don't remember when they booked this on Collision or Dynamite. I could not tell you. I agree with you that they're going with the whole Samoa Joe story, but this feels like a very we need a breather in between the men and women's Blood and Guts match. We need something where people can go to the bathroom, and it's like Hangman and Powerhouse. Go ahead and do it. Honestly, I think that this being a Falls Count Anywhere match is a weirder choice than just booking this out of nowhere. Because especially on Blood and Guts, Falls Count Anywhere, I feel like needs to have a spot. You know what I mean? Like it needs to have a reason to exist. It needs to be for like a championship. There needs to be a reason why these dudes want to kick the living shit out of each other to the point where they don't care where the fight goes. And Blood and Guts, I mean, maybe they're just doing it because it's 2 rings, right? They want to play into the gimmick. Actually, it's probably exactly why they're fucking doing it. But it's just very weird. It's very weird because they're just like throwing it on here. And I would almost, if they're just throwing it on here for Powerhouse Hobbs to beat up Hangman Page, or beat up Hangman. If they're just throwing this on there for that to happen to inevitably set up a Samoa Joe versus Hangman, I kind of want this to be like just a regular fucking singles match. And like,
right.
If that's gonna be the breather of Blood and Guts, let it be a breather. Like, because otherwise it's just like, okay, so these dudes are just gonna go out and beat the shit out of each other, because there's 2 rings and they want to play into the gimmick.
Yeah, nailed it.
It's just a very weird one they had on there. It's just like, it's so fucking random, and it's so fucking AEW to just be like, put it on there, put it on Blood and Guts.
I think they're doing it because they're like, oh yeah, this isn't your like normal Samoa Joe. This is like a loud, weird, cocky Samoa Joe instead of just like a Samoa Joe that's gonna come out and beat your ass. So Samoa Joe's character has also been a bit different. Like he went off on a tangent when Hook disrespected him, and it literally made, I think, everybody break character.
Yeah.
That was on Dynamite. Like Hook called him like an old man or like a useless has-been or something like that. And Samoa Joe just went on a tangent, and like you could see Powerhouse Hobbs trying to not laugh. You could see Shibata. You could see the people in the ring, and like everybody was like, "Damn, okay." And it was just this is a different Samoa Joe. So I think this is probably like you're having a match against. And he's like, yeah, and it's going to be a whatever match. And he's like, and it's going to be against Powerhouse Hobbs. I think it was something like that. And so, like, yeah, I get it. And it's going to obviously end with Samoa Joe coming out to beat his ass, and probably maybe Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win that way. I don't know. Or it's a way to get everybody involved again and have Hangman come out on top because he's still champion. But, I mean, it should be good. Should be anyways. But
yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good match.
Throw on there.
It's gonna be a good match. These guys aren't. It's Powerhouse Hobbs and Hangman. Like, they're not bad wrestlers. It's gonna be a great match. They're gonna beat the shit out of each other. I mean, especially Hangman in any kind of no DQ situation. I mean, he's gonna fucking hell. A stapler might be involved. I don't fucking know, but like
he was basically deathmatch champion there for a minute. So
yeah. No, and I get that it's one of those things where it's throw it on there. You got to fill something, right? But it just feels very thrown together. Also, what are we doing there with the whole Hook, Eddie Kingston? What's happening there? They never touched on that, did they?
No, I think it was just quietly like they did a while ago where like Eddie came back and he's like, yeah, somebody's got to take you under their wing, and he's like, I'll do it because I'm a weird old guy now. So yeah, Hook's now basically like his protege.
So I don't know how this would make sense, but is it gonna be like during the match the ops come out and fucking jump Hangman, and then Hook and Eddie come out, make the save? I don't know how the team of Hook, Eddie, and Hangman makes sense though. It doesn't seem right to me.
They had a tag match together one time, so obviously
sure.
They had a tag match together. Hangman has a problem with Samoa Joe. Hook used to tag with Samoa Joe, so obviously they need to work together now in the power of friendship.
Again, I saw this, and I went, man, this is the most AEW shit possible. And like,
yeah, every now and then they do something where you're like, man, I have to take a couple leaps, but we got there, I guess.
This is how it's not ChatGPT.
You know what?
It's not ChatGPT. It's Tony Khan bumping a line and writing.
Oh, hey, look, John Cena's on Raw. Yeah, every now and then.
Oh, they're opening up with that, huh?
You realize, like, oh, yeah, nope, Tony Khan is still just a fan, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that as a bad thing by any means, but you very much can tell, like, oh, yeah, this dude just likes wrestling, and he's booking matches sometimes because he just enjoys it.
Did they already do the John Cena Dominic Mysterio match, or is that starting right now?
No, he's just chatting. I don't know what happened with the first 10 minutes. I just got to him talking to the crowd.
Well, according to Twitter, John Cena defeats Dominic Mysterio for Intercontinental title in Boston, achieves Grand Slam status. Did John Cena just win an Intercontinental Championship?
No, because he looks too put together. He looks like he just came out. So unless they're ahead, which is possible.
I don't know. I mean, I know the headlines are that fucking Grook AI or whatever the hell it's called. So
ew.
Maybe they didn't do it yet. No, they didn't. Okay, okay. No, they didn't. All right, so Twitter AI is just already jumping to conclusions.
What? That doesn't happen.
That would never happen. Never in a million years. Nope.
No.
Although in a somewhat related note, Jalen Hurts is apparently wearing a striking khaki suit. I don't know why that's important, but that's a headline also on my Twitter.
Well, because you follow the Eagles, so they're like, hey, you need to know what he looks like now.
I don't care what fucking color suit he's winning or what color suit he's wearing. All I care about is what color suit he's winning in.
Oh, very fair.
Speaking of, we got a game starting in a couple minutes that I'd like to watch. So I'm gonna just stand and face this way and mind my own business, and hopefully nothing bad happens to me while my back is.
Well, I can actually. We had Jackal on the phone, right? And he got in a fight with that librarian. It doesn't seem like it went well for him, so I'm just gonna assume he's unconscious. I'm just gonna pin his phone if that's okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't see why not. I'll
that way neither of us have to eat the pin.
Yeah, I'd rather watch this Eagles game not concussed. I guess real quick, if I'm not going to get punched in the back of the head, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you want to find more of me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/ErrorV1, youtube.com/ErrorV1Music. Jackal's dead on the ground.
Well, yeah, I'm laying on top of the phone. So if you like this, just, make us your workout music. I want you to pump up the jams to us. And if you don't like us, that's okay. Jackal's fighting librarians in parking lots now. So, hey, that's a thing.
Make us your workout music. We are here to pump you up. You got the cover? Go, hook the leg.
Yep, well, it's a phone. There's not a lot of leg here.
Hook the phone.
I guess I'll
You got
Okay,
he's
I'm
got
booking the phone.
the phone's got a shoulder up. You gotta I'm checking. You got a shoulder up. You gotta get the shoulder down.
Listen, I'm a hefty boy. I crushed this phone a while ago. It is broken.
Okay, well, you know what? You're covering a shard. I'll count it. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Ring the bell. You need that phone taken out of you? It looks like it's stabbed in there pretty good.
Yeah, I should probably go to the doctor's. You know what? I don't have insurance right now. I'm just going to leave it. It's fine.
That's fine. It's fine. Just, rub some dirt in it and watch the Eagles game.
Oh, there we go.
Go Birds.